Quite a few of you said that you would like to learn more about creating a balance and symmetry within your lash sets. So that's exactly what I want to talk about now. Now, one of the major issues that comes to having a beautiful symmetry is really that once you're doing volume lashes, whether it's handmade or pre-made, and you go into more advanced lashing like mega volume and you're applying quite a few lashes, if you are not using the correct styling, it can be quite the opposite effect of what you were hoping for. So as a lash artist, we always try and either cover up flaws. We can completely do that. We can change someone's entire eye shape and just the way that they are perceived, or we can make something better. So if you see a feature and you go, oh, that's beautiful, I can like enhance that. We can do that with eyelashes as well. But what I always like to do is do corrective work. If I look at someone and I feel like their eyes are too far apart, I will try and rectify that. If I see that their eyes are uneven, they're like not sitting at the same level, I try and rectify that as well. And again, the more lashes you apply to someone's eye, the more obvious that will be. If you have been following me for a while, or Lash Tribe for a while, you have heard this story probably millions of times. And this is one of the things that I teach people in my training straight away, because it's just something that sticks. It will stick in your brain. So what you just saw on the board was that balance is not achieved if one eye has not as many lashes, or maybe not as stronger lashes as the other eye. And the lash artist, and I will go back again and I'll show you, and the lash artist lashes all lashes. This is a big no-no, and this is why a thorough consultation up front is so very important. So when it comes to lashing every single lash on both eyes, there's two issues with that. Number one is time. So there's a time issue. Once you have done one eye fully and you have taken your time, and you can look at your watch and you go, oh crap, I only have half an hour now for the other eye. That is an issue. It's also kind of psychological, especially if you are a beginner and you're lashing one eye entirely and you freak out looking at the other eye because it took you so long just to lash this one eye. And psychologically, you go like, oh my God, now I have to do the same again. And it's probably going to be the left eye if you're right-handed, which is a lot more difficult to lash for a right-handed person, or vice versa. If you're left-handed, the right eye is more difficult. So I always recommend to work in sections, and I'll tell you about that a little bit later. But so when it comes to the balance, we want to make sure that we firstly lash from eye to eye, but also analyze firstly what kind of lashes do they have on each eye. One eye might be a lot fuller, and a lot of the time, like 99% of the time, no one will ever have the same amount of lashes on one eye as well as on the other eye. It's just physically not possible because all lashes are in a different lash growth cycle, and nobody has the same amount of lashes and the same kind of strength on one eye as well as on the other. So if you were to go ahead now and you start lashing the one eye that has more lashes, and you finish it and it looks amazing, and you go, oh, I've done a great job, and then you go to the other eye and you also lash every single lash, but this eye has less lashes, and you don't know that because you didn't take the time. You didn't sit down and analyze both eyes, open as well as shut with iPads on, because that's the best way you can see it. You are in deep trouble, because now this eye is really full and this one is quite sparse looking. Now the only option that you have is to remove some of the lashes on this eye, because you can't just physically throw on more lashes on the other eye, because you will be damaging the natural lashes. Yeah. So this is why it's important that you have a proper consultation right on the start. You don't have to count lashes, but you get kind of an idea if you look at them, especially once the eyes are shut against like a white background. You can see which side has like a few gaps, which side has stronger lashes, and maybe which side has more lashes as well. And then you need to take that into consideration, and then you need to start lashing from eye to eye as well, so that you don't start lashing just the one side with more lashes and then end up with the one with less in the end. But my story that I have about that kind of going from side to side as well is that I was maybe a couple of months into volume lashing, and I was taught to lash one eye first. So I finished the eye. It's not so much about the balance in this instance, it was more so about me not going side to side. And the call that my lady got, well, it was like the phone ringing like 9 or 10 times. I don't usually allow people to take phone calls, obviously, but because the phone just kept ringing and ringing and ringing, I said to my lady, okay, fine, you can pick up the phone, must be something urgent. And she picked up the phone, and her son had broken his, I think, arm as he was doing the monkey bars at daycare. So she had just finished one eye, well, I finished one eye. And the lady now had to rush to hospital, or rather to kindy, and then go to hospital with him with one eye done. Lucky, I think it was summer, so she put sunglasses on. But yeah, she returned a few days later for me to finish the other side. But that story really stuck with me because it's something that I experienced myself and I felt really terrible about, because one eye done, the other eye not. Yeah, not great. So the reason why we don't do this is for emergencies as well. So emergencies, always going from side to side, because otherwise your people will run out of your door and look horrendous. And also creating balance, so having one, so from side to side, so that you always kind of keep that balance. Now there's something that I teach in our advanced training courses, which is methodical application, where essentially you work in sections. So you know, when you're changing your millimeters, like how long you have your lashes or maybe even your curls, and you go in like maybe 5 or 6 sections, however many sections you need for the styling, for the guide that you are creating, I will then do the opposite on the same eye. Obviously, if the eye shape is exactly the same on each eye, if there's a difference, I will maybe have to add a millimeter in length if the eye is slightly droopy, or I might have to use a stronger curl in a certain area. And this is not something I can quickly train someone in like online Facebook group live. If you want more information, send me a message or let me know in the comments below, and I can send you to our advanced training courses for that. Here, so you have your iPads. One is here, one is here. I will literally have my sections and I draw them on. Obviously, I usually have more than that, but this is just as an example. And I will start lashing from one eye to the other. Might do different color. So I will apply one lash here, one lash here, one here, one here, one here. And then I work my way towards the inner corner. And this is how I continue the entire set. This will ensure I always have enough time, I always have the same amount of lashes, and I create balance and symmetry. Now, the next problem is that people don't have an even eye shape, yeah? And what I mean by that is you might decide, oh, I want to do a dolly style on someone. Dolly style essentially follows something that's longer in the middle, like that kind of shape, and then shorter on the outside. Okay, this is essentially what a dolly style follows. If you have no idea what I'm drawing here, this is called a map, an eyelash map that you then follow to apply lashes. Now this is something you should be taught in the beginner's course. If you haven't been taught this but you want to learn it, please make sure you contact me. So back to the dolly. This is just as an example if someone wants to apply that on both eyes. The issue with that is if you follow this and do the same on this eye as well as this eye, but assuming our eyes are different, so let's make one eye nice and narrow and the other eye kind of looks like that. Now you can see by kind of drawing a line through here that this eye is sitting higher because it's more rounded, even though this is the same. Yeah, but this area is higher. Now what would happen if we use exactly the same length on this eye as on this eye? This is a pretty self-explanatory answer. let's say we have like a, I don't know, 10 or 11 mil in the middle, we use the same here. And again, we end up with something that's a lot higher. So we need to know, we need to adjust this. And this is why you need to look at someone's face, the shape of their eyes from each angle, and assess what is something that is not quite 100% correct. Not every person that you'll see have beautifully straight almond shaped eyes that are sitting at the same level with beautiful C-curl lashes. There's no such thing. Well, there is probably, but we don't see them very often, unfortunately. So you need to assess that. So one area that I always assess is one eye more narrow or sitting slightly up? Yeah, it can even be that this eye here is sitting completely lower. It has the same shape, but it's just sitting lower altogether. So that is also an indication that we need to use something a bit longer on that eye in the area where it visually just looks a little bit lower. Now, one more thing I always look at when the eyes are closed, because you can very barely see it if the eyes are open. The eyes are shut, lashes are there. One eye has a nice rounded eyelid, or lash line rather, and the other eye has like kind of a flat spot, okay? You can really only tell that once their eyes are shut. Otherwise you won't be able to tell. So that also means that in this area, because it's flatter, every single lash that we are applying here also sits lower, okay? So you need to look at this kind of thing once the eyes are shut. It's very difficult to see with open eyes. And another thing, lastly, that I want to look at is lashes. So if you have someone with nice curled lashes and then you have a few straight ones in there, and you're working with a curl that is the same curl everywhere, you'll end up with something like that. That's sideways, obviously. So you end up with a dip. So you need to make sure when the eyes are actually open to mark the area where you can see physically the lashes are straighter. A lot of the time it's not just in the outer corner. A lot of people have straight lashes in the inner corner, outer corner, and some people have it anywhere in between. So it's really important that you kind of mark the areas beforehand. I use like a waterproof eyeliner with a little micro brush, and I put a little dot on the area so I remember once the eyes are shut I need to take care of that area, because once the eyes are shut sometimes you are not able to tell exactly just which lashes were the ones that were straight. Once again, I hope that this was helpful. If you would like to have any information on our online courses, we do have, we call it Advanced Eye Shapes and Styling, but it's, you know, it kind of includes everything. It has like the basics of all the different shapes and styles and how to map, how to use the methodical application. And then there's lots of different pictures of different types of eye shapes where we have judged competitions and taken photos of that, and really let you know what to apply where and what options are good and which ones aren't. If you want more information, let me know down below. I have decided to give everyone who wants more information on this a $100 gift voucher, or like a code, which we will set up for the Advanced Eye Shapes and Styling online course. So again, I hope this was helpful, and let me know as well what you want me to cover next. I would like to do these little trainings once every week, hopefully, fingers crossed, depending on all the different private coaching that I'm doing at the moment as well. As you may have heard, we've got something called the Elite Academy, which is a business course for 4 months, one-on-one with me, where I basically teach everything that I've implemented in my own business over the last 6 years. So if you want more information on that, let me know as well. So stay safe, happy wherever you are. Bye.